All right, welcome back. Let's see. We are quickly approaching the end of the semester, and just wanted to make sure we met before going out to the holidays, and wanted to complete some of the material that is I'm sure you're going to need, for the project, and make sure that we stay in on schedule. I had meant to cover some of the material in the prior lecture, but we ran out of time. We've been busy introducing the database, right? The last tier, right, in our multi-tiered application. Right, first focus on the front end, then on the middle tier, the server, right, and now the last portion is the database, right, where we are implementing a permanent storage solution using MongoDB, right? And so in our last lecture, right, we practiced several skills, right, of connecting to a database, right, establishing, creating schemas, models, right, and be able to insert and update uh, I believe it was users, right? So today we're gonna keep going with that. We're gonna practice that again, right? But with the different data models, right? And in particular, I'd like to introduce a more advanced topic where we want to be able to establish relationships between collections, right? So, for instance, you want to be able to say that a course has many modules, right? It is composed of many modules, or has many modules, right? Meaning one course is related to many modules. And that is one of the requirements in the assignment. It's a very common type of relationships in most applications. So I'd like to go over, how would you go about that, implementing that. Uh, there's also a many-to-many relationship, also very common in applications, right, where, for instance, you might want to capture the fact that one user or one student is enrolled in many courses, right? But at the same time, if you look at it from the course's point of view, one course has many enrollments. Many users are enrolled in the same course. Right? From either end, right? Either from the user's point of view, it's a one-to-many relationship, right? One user associated with many courses, but then from the other side, one course is related to many users. So we can say that a many-to-many relationship is actually implemented as two one-to-many relationships. So let's see how we implement that kind of data structure. Okay. Also, this will be the last core topic, right, of the course, right? So we've discussed creating user interfaces, middle tier, RESTful web APIs, right? And then today we complete our discussion, right, with implementing a permanent storage solution. When we come back from the holidays, we're going to have a couple other meetings, right? We're going to be covering, how is it that we can integrate with third-party APIs, right? Maybe with applications such as IMDb or Amazon or Yelp, or somebody who has a data set, right, and they want to share or monetize, right, with the rest of the world. And so we're going to explore one of those options, for instance, integrating with Napster. Or we might decide that we can also integrate with a API tool such as ChatGPT. And so that will conclude the material for the course. Right when we come back from from Thanksgiving, right, we're going to meet that week in December, the first week in December. And then after that, the project will be due on the 8th of December. The week after that, after the due date, will be demo week, where you will be meeting with a TA and you will be demonstrating your projects to a TA. The TAs are going to share with you a spreadsheet soon, where teams are going to be able to register, right, for a particular time slot for that week. And then you're going to meet, that particular time slot and going to demo and show, what it is that you built. I'm also going to share with you a checklist, right, so that you can prepare for that demo. It's basically the requirements document that you already have, but in a checklist format, right, so that you can practice the night before your demo, right, exactly what it is you're going to demonstrate, the day of your demonstration. Also, the TA will use a checklist, to quickly ask you, hey, please demo, show me this, show me that, show me this feature. It's basically, again, the requirements document that you already have. It's just that, in a concise format that the TA can use to, just go through all the features and make sure that everything's there. Okay. So anyway, look out for that. I mean, the time slot are going to be open from December 9th, but also December 10, 11th, 12th. So a couple of days that you can choose when you want to demo. Now you're welcome to keep working on your project, all the way up to the demo. It might be that even though it's due on the 8th, right, you might not demo until the 10th, say, right? So you're welcome to keep working right up to the demo. Just be careful not to break the project right before you're going to demo. That'd be tragic, right? So anyway, yeah. So let's wrap up the material that covers creating a database, right? In particular, I like to focus on those types of relationships, one-to-many, many-to-many relationships. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's create here. We'll bring the assignment. And I believe we last time we met, we discussed creating the user screen, right, where we can find all users, right? CRUD users, create, read, update users. So this is what we built. Okay. So let's bring up the server, the database server. Let's start that, right, in the terminal. Okay, let's start the server. We're going to do user local MongoDB bin MongoD DB path data. Oop, there we go. Oh no, DB path data. There we go. Okay, so database is running. Very good. And let's start up Compass too. We can connect to the database. Let's put that right here. Let's connect to the database, connect. And the database we were working on, I believe it's this one, right? And we only focus on be able to CRUD users. So today we're going to expand this. We're going to work with courses. We're pretty much going to do the same thing, CRUDing courses, be able to create courses, delete courses, update courses. But then we're going to introduce modules, right? So that we can explore how to do one-to-many relationship between one course related to any module. And then we're going to also introduce enrollments, right, to create a relationship between courses and users. Okay. All right, so we have that going. Very good. Now let's bring up the code. Oops. Code, all right. Get that up here. So let's see, node server. Sign into GitHub, and then also bring up our version here. No, I think it's this one. There we go. That one. Let's start the node mon. There we go. So the server's up and running. And let's also bring up in a new window, let's bring up the React project. I believe it's this one. And let's put that on this side. Perfect. Excellent. And let's do an npm start. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where did that come up? Oh, there it is. No, we don't want it there. Let's bring it up here. All right, and sign in. And we should be able to sign in as, let's say, Bob, right? Let's say Bob. 1, 2, 3. And that didn't work. Uh-oh. Network. Server up and running? Oh, the server is not running. What's going on here? Save. DAO. Let's see again. Let's try log in again. Refresh. Okay. Bob. 1, 2, 3. Network. Sign in pending. Ooh. Let's see. Branch. Maybe in the wrong branch. A6. There we go. Let's try it again. Nodemon. Let's try again. Refresh. Profile. Bob. Still pending. Oh, interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Users. Oh, crash. Okay. Is the database not running? The database is running. And the users. Let's see. Mongoose error index. Mongoose. There it is. Oh, not connected to the database. Why am I not connected to the database? Let's try it again. Bob 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're connected. Very good. All right, so we can log in, and there are no courses, right? So we don't have any courses. So let's first of all, right? Let's create the courses. I've provided for you for the assignment. I've provided a JSON object that you can import, right? All the courses. Right, so let's do that. Let's see. This is still users. Deleting users, updating users. Okay. Right. So we're going to be working with courses. There we go. Okay. So I've provided for you a JSON object with courses. Let's import that. Okay. Here we're going to create a new collection. We'll call it courses. Courses. Okay. And we're going to import the JSON file that I've provided for you. And it's in the downloads. It's this one over here. Now, notice that the one that I'm providing for you in this assignment is slightly different from the JSON or JavaScript file that we've used in prior assignments, right? For instance, it does not include the underscore ID. See that? None of these includes the underscore ID. And that's deliberate, right? Make sure that any JSON file that you import into a database doesn't have the underscore ID, because we want the database to come up with those primary keys as opposed to us providing that value. Yeah, we don't want to be managing that. I mean, you can, but that's a more advanced feature. And if you've covered that in 3200 and you know how to work with primary keys, right, in MongoDB, go ahead, right? But I'm not going to get into that in this course. So I'm just going to have the database manage the primary key for us, right? So that we don't have to do that. Okay. So I'm going to import this. say yes, import this, say select, so I'm going to import. So notice that it creates the primary key for us. See that? It comes up with its own unique primary key, which is perfect, right? Yeah, so let's learn how to CRUD these courses. Just like we did for users, now we're going to do it for courses. Okay. All right. Yeah. So first of all, right, we are going to create a schema for the courses. Right. So let's do new schema, and this is establishing the structure of the documents that are stored in the courses collection. See that? We're expecting to have a name, number, credits, and descriptions. We might have other fields. Yeah, start date, end date. We're ignoring those. Certainly, we can include those fields also in our schema. But for this purpose, right, we're keeping it simple. Just those 4 fields. Okay. Once we have the schema, then we're going to need a model that's going to allow us to do all the CRUD operations. So this establishes all the low-level operations that we can do on that collection, right? We can find, to retrieve, right? We can create, to insert, we can delete and update, right? That's all through this model, right? That we are instantiating here, right? So once we have that, we can go into our DAO, right? That currently it's implemented based on the database, right? Database, not really, right? So this database was just a big object with lots of arrays. So we're going to replace that, right? We're gonna comment this out, right? And we're going to replace all our implementation using, right, the database instead, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to import the model. Let's import the model that. And for instance, in our find all courses, right, it was using the database, right, the array. Yeah, we're just getting the array. So we're not going to do that anymore. So instead, what we're going to do is that we're just going to do return model.find, like that, right? So now this data, instead of coming from the from our JSON object, right, is going to come from the database itself. Okay. What happened to return? Whatever, we don't need it anymore. The route, I think we already have that. Find all courses. So for the route, because we are communicating this DAO now is communicating with the server, with the database, right? This communication is now asynchronous, right? So now, right, all these routes that are talking to the DAO need to be redeclared as async. Right, and this DAO is we'll need to await the request. Right, we capture that here. So now we should be able to go to localhost 4000, right, and grab the courses. And notice that these courses are now coming from the database, right? And we know it's been coming from the database because see the primary key here, right? That created by the Mongo database. Also, let's try it out. Let's modify one of these. So here's rocket propulsion. I'm going to edit the document and say rocket propulsion 1 2 3. Say update. Okay. And if I go back here and I refresh, notice that the update has taken place. Right. So now the server is accessing the database and making available the data through this URL. Right? And which what we're going to do is that we're going to program the client React application to use this URL so that it can retrieve and integrate with the database through the server. So you have the React.js application is going to send the request here to the server, and the server is going to go out to the database and is going to respond with this array of courses back to the client, and the client can then display those courses. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. So we have that. Now let's head over to the client, right, and refactor a little bit, right, so that it uses this API. Right? So for instance, here we had find all the courses. We had implemented that in the client for the courses right here of retrieving retrieving all the courses. So find, create, find all courses. There it is, right? So it's fine the way it is here. We're gonna just change it just slightly so that instead of using Axios, it's gonna use the Axios with credentials. Only because we might need the cookie to know the currently logged in user, the current user. Right now, the implementation on the server, right, doesn't use the current user, it doesn't use the session. So really, we don't need the cookie for real. But again, we might change the logic here where we do need the user, right, the current user. So for that, I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to create an Axios version, right, that has cookies, right? And I'm just going to replace all my Axios, right, with the credentials version. It doesn't hurt, right? We're just including an extra header for the cookies. Okay. All right. Yeah. And then what we're going to do in Canvas, right? We should be retrieving all those courses from the client. And there's our course client, which is fetching the course, right? This is fetch courses. The current implementation is fetch courses. So instead of the current implementation, we're going to use this new implementation of the course client. Instead of using find my courses, right? We're going to rework this a little bit, right? So we have the course client already, and we're going to do instead of fetching my courses, we're going to say course client, find all. What is it? Fetch all courses. So fetch all courses. There we go. Okay, slightly different. And then so yeah, we're reworking the logic for determining, based on the enrollments, how am I going to filter that? Right? So I'm changing that a little bit. The current implementation might be filtering in the dashboard, right? So if we go to the dashboard right now, yeah, we had made here a filter for enrollments, but instead of handling enrollments here, we're going to handle enrollments in the server, right? Instead of over here. So that's good. It's not filtering. Good. All right. So that means that this is now returning all the courses, right? Returning all 21 courses. Okay. There we go. All right, including the new one, Record Propulsion 1 to 3, which we just edited. All right. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now that we can retrieve all these courses, right, from the server, and we can display them in the user interface, right? Let's implement a few other CRUD operations. We've just implemented the first CRUD operation that we can read, right, the data structure into the user interface, right, and display it. So how about inserting a new course? So we already had a create course, I believe, on the server. The DAL, right? So this was the original implementation, right? We were creating a course, we were appending it to the array of courses and returning the new course. So let's comment that out. So instead, what we're going to do is that we're going to first, first we're going to make sure that the course object, right? The user is going to be editing the course, right? They're going to be creating a new course, right? They're going to create a new title and a description. And then they're going to post the new course here to the server. Now, it might be that in prior assignments, we had created a primary key in the user interface, perhaps when we were implementing with React.js, or when we first started working with servers. So just to make sure that the object doesn't have a primary key, I'm deleting it here, right? Because again, remember, we want the server to handle the primary keys, not us, right? And then we insert. So create is the equivalent of inserting a document or record into the database, right? And then it's going to return right, the actual object that was inserted, including the new primary key that was going to be created when we insert into the collection. Okay. Then in the route, let's see, do we have create in the route? Okay, we don't have create. So let's insert in there. So we're going to post. So so we're going to use this new DAO create that we just implemented, and we're going to pass whatever the body comes from the client. And the client, presumably, we have a form that we're filling out first. The title of the course, the description of the course, right? So in the body, we're going to pass that into the create course, right? And then respond with the brand new object that was just inserted, right? So that's on the server. We just created that. On the client, right, we're going to post to that new endpoint, right? In the client, this is the course client, right? Do we have a post already? Oh yeah, so we do have this, right? Post, course that, create, blah, 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 action, yada, 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 post, course. Okay, perfect. All right, so we do have that. And in our canvas, we have a create here. Delete, blah, 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 add course. Okay, so this one. And do we have to change it at all? No, use, okay, that's course client create. Yeah, course client create. There we go, create. Set courses, perfect, all right? And this is going to be async, await, excellent, yep. All right, so let's try it out. So let me refresh. So I'm not logged in. So let me log in again. So this is Bob. And let's create a brand new course. So right now we have what? We have 21 courses. 21 courses. And so we're going to create a new course. So this is one. So new course 1, 2, 3. Add. And there we have. So we're posting. There's our header. We're posting the new course with description and the name, right? And it comes back from the server. So yeah, we were able to insert it, and this is the new ID, right? And indeed, right, if we refresh the database, notice that we now have one extra course, right, which is at the bottom. There it is, new course 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so that's inserting. What about removing an object that is already there in the database, right? So let's see if we already have delete course. It looks like we do. Delete course, right? And it's using the old implementation of manipulating the array. So we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're going to use the model, right, that implements all the low-level API to the database that is going to delete one document. And we have to provide a primary key that identifies the document that we are removing. So delete one removes that document and then returns a status, right? So that status, right, we're going to catch that in the URL. And here, right, we have the delete, there it is, right? So course, blah, 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 delete. This is now going to be async. And this is going to be await. This is going to come back as a status. And we're just going to send this back to the user front end so that maybe they want to display some error message based on the status information. Okay. Delete one, blah, blah, status. Yeah, okay, we're done. Good. Now, notice that all the other operations, all the other routes, the post, the get, notice that the database operation always returns kind of an object or a collection object, but not here. In here, the server, the database is going to remove the document. So it makes no sense to remove a document to respond with the document. Instead, it's going to respond. The database is going to respond with some status object saying, whether it was successful deleting or updating the document. right? And just telling you, a count of how many documents were affected. In this case, since it's by primary key, there's only going to be one document that is affected, right? Deleted or updated. Okay. In the route, we have a sync away. Very good. And so now on the React client, on the courses client, we have the delete course. Let's see. And so in the client, do we have delete? Delete course. There we go. Delete ID. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so that looks correct. Courses delete. Yada yada. Okay, and then we're gonna go out to the server. We retrieve the data. Okay, so we don't care about the data in this implementation. Okay, yeah, so we respond with the data. Okay, very good. And what about the user interface in the index page, right? Canvas, we have a delete event handler. Okay, we don't have a delete handler. So let's implement that. Oh, no, we do actually. Here, there it is. There it is. So delete, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Excellent, we do. But this one updates the user interface, right? They're changing the status in the local copy, right, of the courses that the user interface has. We do need to remove it from the server, right? Because the server is the single source of truth, right? So let's do that. We're going to call the delete function and the server, and we're no longer going to do this, okay? Yeah. All right. So courses. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So let's try it out. Let's log in as Bob. Oh, sign in. There we go. So we have those courses. Yeah. So let me remove a few. So let's say we remove aerodynamics. We say delete. There we go. Right. That the next one takes its place. Say we delete all of these. There we go. So it's working now. If I refresh, right, it should be able to just retrieve the surviving courses, right? And we can check the database and make sure that the count of courses has gone down, right? I removed 3 courses. It went down from 22 to 19. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So delete works. And then how about updating a course? Maybe I want to change the description. I want to change the title of the course, right? So we already have an implementation, right, for updating, which is this one, update course. And what we're going to do is that instead of updating the course in the array of databases, right? Instead of doing that, we're going to use the model. So we're no longer going to do this. Instead, we're going to do that. So basically, a model, again, provides all the low-level API to talk to a database. In our case, we are running update 1 that I have to establish, right, what is the primary key of the object. And then once I found the object, what I want to do to update, to modify, to change, right? Well, I'm going to use the set operator, right, that says, well, I'm going to expect here a JSON object that at least has the fields, well, not all of them, some of the fields of the object in question, right? I want to change my phone number or my email or whatever, right? So this will have the fields that I want to update plus the value that I want to update to, okay? All right, so we have that, and then the endpoint here, the routes for delete is async away, perfect. Yes, this one model. And then update, where's update? Here's update down. So what we're gonna do is that this also needs to be async. So async, and it's gonna have to be await. This is gonna come back with a status. And we're going to send the status back. There we go. Constant status, blah, 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 send status. course updates, request body, perfect, excellent. Yeah, so what about the user interface? Do we need to change anything? Just the fact that we want to be consistent and all my endpoints have the access with credential enabled, right? And we do, right? So there's our update course here somewhere. Update course, right? So it's going out to the server, updating the course, so it's already behaving correctly, right? So we just have to test it to see if it works, right? So so if I go into I'm not logged in. Oh, 404. Oh no. First, we're doing edit. Can I edit? Let's see. Let's change this to 234. Let's see. Update. Okay, that's updated. There it is. Let's refresh, and it has been permanently changed, right? So if I refresh this, right, this should change. So refresh. There it is 234. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. So we can do all the operations: create, read, update, and delete. Okay. So now that we have that, let's explore this new feature, right, of being able to relate two collections, right? Now the easiest way to implement it, the way I'm going to implement it, is the easiest. The child document has a parent document, right? So meaning maybe I am the director of a section, and then I have a whole bunch of employees associated to me. There's one director, many employees. So in our case, we're using modules as the many side of a one-to-many relationship, right? Between courses and modules. Because right now, if you go here and navigate to a course, right now there are no modules associated to any course, right? So you can't find any of that. But yeah, so let's implement the courses and using the modules on the many side of a course. All right. So let's do that. So first of all, we'll create a schema for this, right? For the modules, for the modules. Okay, and in here we'll create the schema. Oh wait, I put it in the wrong directory. I meant to put this here. Delete. There you go. Yeah, so it's got modules, right? It's got its own schema. Perfect. So in the schema, we're going to describe the data in all modules. It has a name, a description, and now it has a reference to course, right? Very much like how we had implemented it right here, modules, right? We had the primary key, name, description, right, and course. So course, we used it as an index, right, to find in an array the course for that ID, right? But basically plays the same role as this ID, right? Whereas this one is referring to another document in another collection, we're still going to establish that kind of relationship, right? Where each child in a parent-child relationship, each child knows who their parent is. So that's what that course is for. So yeah, so let's implement that in the schema. Okay, we already have declare, very good. And then let's create the model. Oops. Copy. There we go. So model, modules, model. And with this content, oops, copy. There we go. Right. And then now let's create a DAO, right? Where we can practice our CRUD, right? So modules, do you have a DAO for modules? I don't believe so. Modules, DAO, no. So let's create a DAO. And here are the operations, right, that we're going to be using to interact with the database, right? We oops, down, create module. Is that what you create module? Okay, yeah. And then we're no longer going to use the database. Instead, we're going to be using the model. The model create the module. Okay. All right. So that was create the module. The routes, right, are going to allow you to handle HTTP requests, right? That we can then divvy up to the DAO, right? So we have routes already implemented for the courses. We do, and we have here post a new course modules. Let's see. So we have a post in the courses. So we have courses, routes. Do we have a post here? Okay, so this one creates a new course. Perfect. Excellent. But what we want to do is create a module for the course. And now notice that I'm going to implement it in the routes for the courses. You might say, well, why? I mean, we are inserting into the modules record, right? Why are you storing this logic here? Well, I think it lives here because all the APIs for the courses all start with this, right? So let me import this in the courses DAL. I'll put it up here, and also we'll need the DAL import modules DAO. Yeah, is that where it is? Okay, and we don't need that. Oh, we already have this. There we go. Okay. So we have an app, right, that is declaring this post that says that you're going to give me the course here, and then the idea of the course that this module belongs to, right, in that order. Okay. Notice that the only thing that we are ever encoding in the path is the ID, right? As RESTful web APIs, what the convention says, right? Only primary keys as part of the path, right? And the nouns of whether the tables that are involved or collections that are involved. And so here we are creating, grabbing the parameters, very good. We are creating the body, the course, and then we're sending it over to create module, okay? On the client, right, in the client, in the courses client, we're going to make sure that we are using access with credential, right? So create, let's see, create module for course. Do we have that? Yeah, create module for course. Do we have access with credentials? Yes. Okay, let's try it out. Creating a module. Let's see. Actually, why is this 404? What's going on? Oh, right, because it's trying to fetch modules, and that doesn't exist. Let's not do that just yet. Right, so let's fix that here, right, in the modules index. My guess that unload, I'm fetching modules. So let's not do that for now. Let's not fetch the module. Okay, so we're here, right? We are able to navigate because we're no longer fetching the modules. But we should be able to create the module, right? So for instance, I should be able to say module is empty right now. Let's see, let's refresh this. Okay, there's modules and it's empty, right? Which makes sense, right? But let's create a new module. We'll say module, and this would be M1. And so it went out to the server, there it is, right? And it comes back with the module M1 and the database. If I refresh, notice that indeed it creates a module and it knows that it belongs to that course, right? So it's persisting the fact that this module is for that course. Now notice that if I refresh the client, right, it doesn't remember that M1 is there. Well, actually it logged me out. Right? So if we go Bob, and we go back to the same, oh, wait, this, maybe the server crashed. Oh, and did the server crash? No. Okay. Let's log in again. Bob. Okay, we're here. And let's go here. And the module, notice that we did create it for this course, right? But it's not displaying, right? Because we only created it. Now we have to retrieve it from the server, right, to make sure that we are always displaying the latest here on the server. So let's do that and retrieving modules for course. Right? We did a find modules for course in the DAO. Let's see, do we have that already? So fine, I guess we do not, right? So let's implement that. So basically this is just using find, right, and filtering by the foreign key course, right? So it's because maybe, I don't want all the courses. I only want the courses whose course is equal to the course ID, whose parent, right? So this will include, the M1 that we just created, right? And once we have that in the route, we can create a URL, right? A route that encodes the ID of the course that I want, right? And says, okay, well, for that course that I'm giving you the primary key, I want the modules. Go get me the modules, right? So, okay, so this would be in the course routes again, right? Because the API starts with courses. So courses routes, courses routes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Post module API courses, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So there we go. So, copy. There we go. So given the ID of the course, give me the modules. Right? Notice that it's the same URL for posts, for creating and retrieving, right? API, create the ID of the course, we provide the ID, and then we're going to go out to this database server to fetch all those courses that match for that, all those modules that match for that course. Okay. So yeah, then on the client, right, we should have a find modules for course, also in courses client. Yeah, find modules for course, okay, we have that already. The only thing we're going to change is access to credentials. I already have that already. Perfect. Okay. So we should be able to now come here, right, and refresh. Guess we have to log in again, Bob. Sign in, right? And if I go to here, I thought we had created a module for this. Did we create a module for this? Let's see. Go here. Oh, okay. I guess we're not, in the user interface, we have to go fetch it, right? We never did. All right, so let's fix that. So in the user interface, we have this find module for course. I guess we're not using it anywhere. Actually, it looks like we are, right? Canvas courses, export. Okay, so here we commented out. We commented, okay. Fetch the modules, set the modules. Okay, there we go, M1. And we can create other modules, M2, M3, and these are all being inserted in the database. There we go, 1, 2, 3. And now if I go to a different course, say I go to this one, has no courses, but I can create other courses. We'll call it, W1, W2. And so in the database, right, those two new courses are there, W1, W2. And here, right, based on the ID, I can go out to the server and fetch only the modules for that particular course, right? So if I go to a different course, right, we have M1, M2, M3. But if I go to this one, it's W1, W2, right? So it's different, right? Because again, it's driven by the primary key of the course, which is being used to filter the modules for that course, right? Okay. How about deleting modules? Let's see. Oops. So in the DAO, do we have delete? We don't. Right, so let's add delete. Basically, you use delete one, right, which takes as argument an object that allows them to filter and identify the actual document you want to remove by primary key, right? And then in the route, we would have a delete. Okay, there's delete using DAO delete course, right, that we just implemented. And then returning a status. Okay. All right. And then on the client side, okay, we have routes, await. Okay, perfect. So on the server, or on the client, let's see, do we have delete? Okay, remove modules. So we do have remove modules using the client. Okay, perfect. Right. So we do have that. The only difference is that I am using the access with credentials with all these guys. I mean, right now we don't need to, but it never hurts, right, to pass the cookie, right, even if it's not supported. Yeah. So we should be able to remove now, right? So if we go, let's see. So this one is implemented where? Course modules. Okay, so that means that in the modules, right, we have remove module, right? Dispatch, blah, blah, blah. Is this being used anywhere? Let's see, remove. Yeah, remove module. Okay, all right, so let's try it out, see if it works, right? We go here, refresh. Let's log in with Bob. Oops. Is the server up and running? Oh, import model. Uh-oh. Import. Oh, no. Import, we already have that already. Okay, let's try it again. Refresh. Bob, 1, 2, 3. Sign in. Okay. And so if we go to modules. Okay, so let's see if it removes it. So it's remove. Oops, what's going on? Delete API modules. API modules. What's going on? Why doesn't it work? API modules. So modules, there's the model. Oh, did we not implement? Okay, we created a DAO. Okay, we never implemented the route. Okay, that's fine. Let's create the route. So routes. Yeah, this is supposed to get to be implemented in prior assignments. So we're gonna import the star as DAO from, right? So this is the DAO JS, right? And then we'll have to, do I have code for that? Let's see. Model client, routes. Okay, so we can just copy this. There we go. Module DAO to retrieve. And then if we have a new route, right, we have to declare it with our top level index file, right? We need to, import the route, import modules route, and then pass in module routes. Perfect. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Come back here, we're gonna refresh. And we'll do Bob. Sign in. There we go. Modules. About delete. Okay, so we went out as a request, as a delete request. Perfect. We're going back saying, yeah, true. I was able to delete one document, which is perfect. Notice if I refresh, this should display also only the ones that survived. And if I go back here and I refresh, right, there's only 4 because we removed M2, right? Okay. Okay, so how about update modules? I'm going to let you work on that. I did want to discuss enrollments. Right. So let's talk about enrollments implemented as a many-to-many relationship. Okay. Let's take a really short break, and when we come back, right, we'll discuss how to implement a many-to-many relationship. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. There's a question on the chat. It says, do admin users exhibit similar behavior to faculty users in the operation of courses? Well, I guess, yeah, both admin and faculty can, they can both create courses, edit courses. The thing is that an admin is more than a faculty. So faculty can only create courses that they are enrolled in, right? And that they can only delete courses that they have created. Whereas an admin would be able to create courses and delete courses that they don't own because they can do everything, right? So they're slightly different. Also, admins could create users, delete users, whereas faculty can't. Faculty, if the student enrolls in their course, then they are in the course, right? But they can remove the user, right, or create new users, right? That's only admins can do that, but that's not required, right? So nobody's asking you to implement those features. Just admins are more than faculty. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, so let's explore now persisting, creating relationships, right? There are many, right? Where many records in one collection, right, are related to many elements and items in another collection. And the example that we're gonna be using is users enrolled in courses, right? One user is enrolled in many courses from the point of view of the users, but from the point of courses, many users are enrolled in one course. Okay. So to do that, what we do is that we're going to need to know the name of the models that we gave, right, to the two collections that we want to relate. Right. So, for instance, in the course models, right, we remember that we gave that name to the course model, right, and then this one we called it user model. So, remembering that, right, we're going to create a new schema, right, on the server here. Right, the schema here in the enrollments, and in that schema we're going to create this the schema here, right? Which is what it's doing, right? It's declaring two, sort of like a foreign key, right? That is referencing. It's going to store the primary keys, right, of courses and users that are related to one another. It's going to say, hey, that course there is related to that user over there, right? And now the way it's going to know which model or which collection is related is that, right, in the course model, right, right, that's the name that we use there. So this name needs to match that name right there. And because it's using the schema tells it what collection to use. See that? Right. Same thing for the user model, right? We created a collection, a schema that had the user's collection, and then a user model, right, that referenced the user schema that has the user collection, right? So that's how this allows me to know, right, which documents in which collection are related to which other documents in another collection, right? Plus, we have some other, additional satellite fields here that are not really needed, but certainly these would be convenient to capture, right? Anyway, so we have that schema. We'll need a model as well because we want to be able to create these records, right? So let's create a model here. There we go. We have the model that allows you to insert, update, delete, right? Do all the CRUD operations with the enrollments collection, right? And then in the DAO, right? We already have a DAO, but right, it's using the old implementation of the objects and arrays and whatnot. So we're going to abandon that. We're not going to do that. Instead, right, we're going to import the model. We're going to import the model right here. We're going to import the model, and then we're going to have several operations. Actually, wait a minute. Let me import the model right there. And this is enroll user in course. We have that, right? So yeah, we're not going to use this implementation anymore. Yeah, we don't use that implementation anymore. So we have a couple operations. So the first two operations allow us to retrieve either courses or users, depending from what point of view, right? If you give me a user, then I will tell you what courses is that user enrolled. Now, this is useful in the dashboard, right? If I go to the dashboard, I'm the currently logged in user. I have an ID for that user, and then I can retrieve the courses that I am enrolled in, right? And then populate the dashboard. Now, once I select a course and I go into a course, if you remember, there is a people table, right? We have once we go into a course from the dashboard, once we go in there in the people, this is a list of the students that are enrolled in this course. So this is what would allow us to do that. Give me the course, and I'll give you the people that are associated to that course. So it can be read from both ends, right? So sometimes a many-to-many is referred to as a bidirectional relationship, right? That allows you to view it from 2 points of view. And then there are two operations that allow us to either create the relationship, right? That this user is enrolled in this course, or remove the relationship. So unenroll a user. So I delete the record saying that this user is enrolled in that course. Okay. So basically, those are the 4 basic operations, right? So once we have that, right, let's now actually implement these operations. So first of all, let's work on the part where I log in as a person, regardless of if I'm an admin or a student or a faculty, and what I like to be able to do is enroll in a course. So so before we enroll in the course, what we're going to do is that we are going to fetch the courses that person's enrolled. At first, it'll come back as empty, but what it is going to allow us to do is display or calculate a difference between all the courses, and the courses that I'm enrolled in, and then compute what the difference is, right? If there's an intersection between the two. If there's an intersection between the courses that I'm enrolled in and all the courses, then I will display them one way, right? I'll show a button so that, because I'm enrolled, then I should be able to unenroll. But if there's no intersection, right, and I ask for all the courses, then because I'm not enrolled in any of them, then it will show me the enrollment button so that I can enroll in an actual course, right? So first let's calculate that, right? What are the courses of which I can enroll and which ones I can unenroll? And for that, I'll need both things, right? All the courses plus the courses that I've enrolled, do a difference, right? And then display them accordingly, okay? All right, so we already implemented in the DAO, right, that I can find the courses given a user, right? So that is going to be used in the dashboard to be able to compute that difference, right, of which I'm enrolled and not, right, and display them correctly. All right, so in the routes, Now I'm going to implement this in the user routes, right? And the reason is that once I log in and I know who I am, right, then I can go in and ask, well, what courses are associated for this user, right? So naturally for me, the API would be /API users, the user ID, and then the property of courses. What are the courses for this user? So for me, I think because it starts with /users, right, that belongs in the users routes, right? Now, because it's you're retrieving courses, you might make an argument that says, oh well, because you're retrieving courses, this would better be implemented in the courses routes, and that's totally fine. If you prefer to implement this in the courses routes, that's fine, right? Or you might say, well, no, this is a relationship between these two things. There's an enrollment. Let's create a route specific for enrollments, and that'd be also fine, right? The reason I'm putting it here is that all the other routes in this routes, they all start with /user. So for me, it makes sense to put them here, right? So anyway, I'm going to bring in the enrollments now into the user routes. So in the user routes here, right, we're going to, and bring in the enrollments now. Perfect. We already have that. And I'm going to get the find courses for user. Okay. And I might already have that find. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we implemented this find courses for enroll user. Right. It's this one, right? So I'm going to do is just going to re-implement this. I'm going to rename it. Right. It'll be find courses for user. I think that's a better name. And this post, I'm just going to move it down here. Okay. Yeah. Find courses for user as opposed to find courses for enrolled users. I think that's a better name. All right. So we have that. So once we have that, we can go to the client and retrieve that, right? And I think we already had started that on a prior assignment, find courses for enrolled users, right? So let's take a look at that in the account. I believe we implemented it. Find blah, blah, blah. Our role, okay, I guess not. Right, there we go. Find courses for user. There you go. And then in the Canvas, we're going to go and fetch that, right? We're going to bring in the user client in Canvas. So Canvas, there we go, there. We have the user client. Okay, we do have it already. Do we? Yeah, we do. And what we do is that I'm going to toggle whether I'm enrolling or not. So I'm going to add a new button, right? This is from assignment 5, right? That we added a button that you can toggle whether I'm enrolling in new courses or not, right? So when I either show all the courses or not show all the courses, either just my courses or all the courses, so I can either enroll or enroll as I want, right? So to do that, I'm just going to create here a little toggle, right? A little flag that I can toggle on whether I'm enrolling or not, okay? And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have two queries, right? That is going to retrieve either the only the courses that belong to me, or both of them, both all the courses and the courses that belong to me. Right. So if I'm not enrolling, right, and just watching my own courses, then I'll use just the courses for users, right? But if I am enrolling, I'm going to need both things. I'm going to need the courses that I'm already enrolled, and I'll need all the courses so that I can compute the difference and highlight the ones, render them accordingly. So whether I'm, if I'm not enrolled, I'll show an enrollment button. But if I'm already enrolled, I'm going to display it as I want to unenroll. Okay. So yeah, so let's do that. Delete fetch. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to replace this, right, with this new version of fetch courses, which is going to fetch both of them, right? And then depending on whether I'm enrolling or not, I'm going to toggle, right? I'm going to either just only look for my courses or for both of them, right? So let me change that here. There you go. And so now to be able to toggle, I'm going to put the toggle in the dashboard. So the dashboard is going to handle whether I'm enrolling or not. So I'm going to have to pass I'm going to have to pass the mutator and the save variable down to the dashboard. So I have to pass that in here like that. So in here, I'm going to have to accept those two new parameters, right? Enrolling and set enrolling. And I'm going to have to declare them in the type here, right? Like that. And then I'm going to add a new button, right? That is it's going to allow me to toggle whether I'm enrolling or not, right? So I'll put that maybe up here in the dashboard like that. And then based on whether I'm enrolled or not, as I am rendering all the courses, depending if I am enrolling, I'm going to display the button enroll unenroll. If I'm not enrolling, then I'm not going to show the button, right? But as I show the button, depending on whether I'm enrolled or not, right, it should display the opposite, right? So I can toggle. So if I'm enrolling, I'm going to show a new button. And I'm going to show a new button as I am iterating over the courses. And I'll put it like over here. All right, so let's see. So if I go to account, let me log in, Bob. Okay, there we go. So we have all the courses, and so now I'm an admin, and because I'm an admin, I think I'm displaying all of them. So let me change my role and my user. So I have Bob, which is an admin. So I'm going to change him to be a student here. Student. So update. So if we go back here and I refresh, I think I need to log out because it's still remembering my role. Bob. Now Bob is going to be a student. Okay, there we go. We don't see any courses because I'm not an admin. Admins see all the courses. All right, so if I show all the courses, right, it fetches them. And it also fetches the ones that I'm enrolled in. So this one, okay, so these are all the courses, API courses. Whereas this one is, fetching for the courses that I'm enrolled in. And this comes back as empty. I'm not enrolled in any. So what I'm doing is that in the user interface, right, when I have both of them, when I fetch both of them in the canvas, when I fetch both of them right here, I fetch all the courses and I fetch the ones that I'm enrolled in. So one of them is empty. What I do is that I iterate over all the courses, checking to see if any of those courses is included in the enrolled courses, to see if there's an overlap between the two. If there is, right, if the enrolled courses is in the all courses, then what I do is I'm going to I'm going to set a flag on that course to enrolled true, right? So basically I'm just iterating over both of them, right, and checking to see, okay, is this one in here? If it is, right, if I'm enrolled or enrolled, then I'm going to turn out a flag to be enrolled true. And so I'm going to use that enrolled true in the dashboard so that when I'm displaying the courses, right, the button here is going to say, well, if the course is enrolled, then I display unenrolled. But if I'm enrolled, then I display enrolled, and vice versa. Okay, and display also in different colors. All right. Okay. All right. So we got that. So now we do want to actually enroll and actually unenroll. Right. So right now we're just displaying, and since I'm not enrolled in any course, then obviously I can enroll in all the courses. Okay. So we have in the DAO, we had implemented, inserting an enrollment into the enrollments table or deleting it, right, if I'm unenrolling. And now in the route, okay, I believe we did not implement the route. So if I'm enrolling, I'm going to insert. If I'm unenrolling, I'm going to delete. Okay. So yeah, so let's put that in the route for users here, right? Because this is establishing a relationship between a user and a course, or removing that relationship. So enrolling is, since it's creating a new document, it's going to be a post, and I'm encoding both the ID of the user and the course ID, and I'm enrolling right there, right? Now, if the ID is current, I'm going to use the current user that is in the session. Or if you want to provide me the ID, then I'll just use that ID, right? So if you just provide me the ID, so it's not current, I'll just pluck it out from the params, right? So in both cases, right, whether I'm enrolling or not. Now, if I'm enrolling, I'm going to insert. If I'm unenrolling, I'm going to delete, right? And so that's why we have here, when I create, I do a post, and when I remove, I do a delete, all right? So yeah, so now in the client, we can implement the two client functions that are going to either post to create the enrollment, or is going to send HTTP delete to remove the relationship, right? So that's in the client here. There we go. And then we can in the user interface, for instance, in Canvas, right, we can create an event handler so that when we click on the button enroll, right, it's gonna notify us whether we're doing one or the other, enrolling or unenrolling. And this one's gonna make the handle that event when you click on the button, and actually go out to the server and do the enrollment and unenrollment, right? So that's in the Canvas. We'll put an event handler here that we're going to call this, right, from the button, the enroll, unenroll button. I'm going to pass in a Boolean, whether true or false. I'm enrolling, unenrolling. And depending on enrolled, I'm going to send either a post or a delete to the server, right, with the user and course. And then I'm going to just iterate over the courses that I have locally, and make sure that based on that ID of the course, if I find it, to set it to the enrolled true false, right? So basically, I'm updating the server, the database, right, and I'm updating the user interface so that they're in sync. I might want to put this in a try catch, just in case the server fails, right? It blows up, right, and it comes back with an error status. I don't want to update my user interface with fake information, right? So anyway, so we're going to pass this down to the dashboard. The dashboard is the one who's actually going to do this work, right? So we're going to go out to the dashboard, and we're going to accept update enrollment here, right? Update enrollment. And now the update enrollment is expecting what? Update enrollment, enrollment. Okay, so the course ID and the Boolean, right? So enrollment. So this is going to be a string, and enrolled. It's going to be Boolean. Okay. Yeah. So we have that. We can then pass it down to the dashboard. Once we have it in the dashboard, yeah, there we go. We are actually going to do the events. We're going to generate the on-click events, right? When we click on it, we're going to call the update enrollment with true or false, right? The inverse of whether I'm enrolled. So if I'm enrolled, I'm going to unenroll. If I'm not enrolled, I'm going to enroll, right? So let's copy that on click and put that in the dashboard where we created that button. So this button right here, right? There we go. All right, so let's try it out. Let's, do we need to log in maybe? So Bob, again, sign in. Okay, I'm not enrolled in anything. I'm going to grab all the courses, and I'm going to enroll in a few, right? So as I enrolled, I should be generating a post. also it should be inserting into a new collection, which right now it's empty, right? Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to enroll in rocket propulsion. There it is. There's my posts, and sending out the user and the course that I am enrolled in, and the server's responding and say, yeah, I was able to enroll you, right? And there's my new enrollment document that I just inserted. If I go here and I refresh, indeed, right, this is showing that this user is enrolled in that course. So it's permanent there, right? And now if I refresh, right, it should show me that now I am enrolled in that course. See that? And I can go in and keep enrolling in a few others like that, right? If I refresh, note that it remembers that I am enrolled in these three. As well as unenrolling, I should be able to unenroll, right? If I refresh, notice that I only have those two. See that? Now, one thing to point out, right? The way the DAO is doing this, because notice that here we are getting the when I get the enrollment, these are enrollment objects, right? They're coming from where? It's coming from these headers, right? Users, ID, and then courses, right? Now, notice that when that goes to the server, it's this one right here, right? Users, ID, and courses. So find courses for users, this one, right? Which in the enrollments, it's doing this, find courses for user. And notice this implementation. So this, because notice that when I filter, so this is filtering the model, this is the enrollment model, meaning I'm going to the enrollment collection. So I'm looking at these documents here. So refresh. So I'm looking at these documents. And so I'm filtering by the user right here, right? So if I pass in for me, I'm logged in 2479, that's Bob. So I'm filtering. So what I get back here, right there, I get these two documents, right? But that's not what the client's getting. The client is getting, wait, courses. Huh? There we go. It's getting objects. See that? It's not getting these here, course, user. It's just getting the course, the array of courses. How's that happening? Well, what's going on here is that yeah, this right there, up to that point, up to there, yes, that returns enrollments. That returns these documents, these two documents right there. But notice there is a populate course. See that? So what that does, the equivalent of a join in a relational database. It's saying that course here is a foreign key that references a document in another collection, right? 5, 9 something, whatever. Presumably it's this one right there. See that? Right? So I don't, yes, we have the IDs, the foreign keys. I would need to do what? Because I want the actual course object, because that's what I want to respond. I want to respond with the course object, but I have IDs. I just have IDs. So in a relational database, what you would do is that you would join the user table with the enrollments table with the course table and pull the fields that you want. You want to pull all the fields for the course, the title of the course, the name, the description, all those things, right? So that's what Populate does. So Populate says, well, you see that course field that's coming back with a primary key? Well, that's not very useful. What I would want is the actual object. I want this object, right? By ID, I want that object. So that's what Populate does. So Populate says, well, the course field that you have there, replace this, do an additional query, go and find the document by that primary key, right? And then replace the course with the actual object. The actual object. That's what's happening, right? The actual object, right? Okay, so this So this would still be what? This would be these documents with this replaced with the course object, plus the user, plus the status, blah, blah, blah. But here what I'm getting is just courses, an array of courses, not right two arrays of enrollments with a course property. So that's what I do here now. I'm going to now iterate over that array, these two elements. I'm going to iterate over the array. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a brand new array so I'm creating a brand new array that is going to contain only the courses. See that? So I am unwrapping the enrollments array, right? Throwing it away and then creating a brand new array that only contains courses. And that's exactly what I'm returning here, right? So that's what I get of the array. Okay. So yeah, so the next thing what we need to do is that if we go into a course and we go to people, this should do the same thing. It would provide the course ID because we have the ID right here. That's the course ID. We go out to find courses by courses for user, right? It would find giving a course. It will retrieve all the users. And so it would populate the user, replace the user ID with the actual user, right? And it would just unwrap all those users. So I didn't implement that, but certainly, I would practice that, just to get familiar with this, right? So to complete, right, the use of enrollments is to display here in the people screen the the users for that particular course. Okay. All right. That's all I had for you today. So yeah, please work on your projects, right? They need to be done by the 8th. I'm sorry that you probably will need to work through the holidays, but yeah, we're coming quickly to the end of the semester. So anyway, let's do office hours. If you need any help, configuring a server or database or things like that, let's take a look at it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who wants to go first?
Hello, Professor.
Hi.
Uh, I actually was having some problems with the enrollment thing. Actually, when I'm clicking on the enroll button, I can see that the user is getting enrolled because it is getting added in the MongoDB database, but
Okay.
it is not getting fetched on the screen. Also, the enroll is not changing to unenroll. I mean, the
All right. You want to
button.
show my screen? Show you
Yeah,
show your
yeah.
screen.
Mm, yes.
Are you sharing somewhere? Okay, there we go. Wait, oh, wait, I can't find. Okay, there we go. All right. So, okay.
I think there is some problem in the dashboard thing because
Oh, wait a minute. Um, okay, so let's see. So you're this is going out to a database, right?
yeah, yes,
Okay. Can I request control?
yes.
All right, let me see. Enrollments, courses, users. Yeah, I'm gonna just create a new user, and I'm gonna just create. Actually, let me see. Let's say admin. All right, so yeah, so let's see if I go here. So where's your React? Is this local? Dashboard, right? So an account, let's sign out, and if I sign in as Bob123, what happens? I go to network, sign in, save. So that was an admin, so network, courses, courses. Okay, so that's wrong, right? In here and the let's see, enrollments. I'm in last time. Okay, so this is your React, right? Your
Yes.
React in your canvas. Okay, so enrolling and enrolling. All right, enrolling, so enrolling, blah blah blah. Oh, oh, you don't have the button here, right? Uh, so we were gonna pass in the enrolling, so enrolling in the dashboard, and then in the dashboard we were gonna add a new button. No. Uh, dashboard, blah blah blah, handle, toggle, enrolling. On click, yada yada yada, enrolling my course, all courses. Oh, so you do have that.
Yeah, this.
Oh, it's this one right here. Okay.
Yes.
Um, but I think we were going to use set enrollment, no?
Okay.
Wasn't it? I mean, isn't that what the assignment
I
says?
I think I copied what the assignment said.
Mm,
Should I just open the assignment?
yeah, I'm looking at it myself. Just hold on a second. No, it's this one, right? It's oh, can't edit my. It's this one, right?
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
it's right. Okay, okay. There we go.
um, but I don't know why the courses are showing like this right now. Because it was I mean it was showing the proper 21 courses that we had.
Um, so what are you doing here? Let's see.
Oh, okay, got it. I actually clicked on enroll maybe repeatedly, and that's why it is showing the same course.
Oh,
Like,
you're enrolled in a whole bunch of them.
yeah.
So let's start off with brand new enrollments, and let's delete all these. Okay, no enrollments. If I refresh. Okay, so no courses, all courses. Wait.
That was actually working.
Well, no, because you're only displaying the courses. Wait, what am I? User Bob. Bob is an admin. Okay. Uh, Bob is an admin. Wait, so these are all courses. Did you fix that? All courses. So here, uh, in courses, routes. Okay, find, yeah, get all courses, find all courses. So what does this do? Find all courses, find. Uh, so this should retrieve all the courses. Oh, you are. Okay, so you are retrieving all the courses. Then what do you do with retrieving all the courses? Here. So let's see.
Would be in the dashboard most probably. The so here
And,
I'm using this displayed courses.
okay, so what is this? Oh yeah, no. So here you are always just showing the courses uh, that you are passing here, right? Yeah, courses.
Okay.
What are you doing here? All courses. These effects. Load and roll courses. I don't think we have that, right? In our dashboard.
Yeah, maybe now it won't be required.
Yeah, in the dashboard. Yeah, we don't do any use effects in the dashboard. Yeah, we don't do any of this. Yeah, we don't do any of this. All that is done in the canvas. Canvas does all that.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have any of this.
Was that all there for the reducers in the previous assignments?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Current user for creating. Okay, yeah, that you might need.
I was actually using all this for the enrollments part.
Right, but the enrollments now lives on the server. It's no longer
Yeah.
here. So you're filtering these things, right? So this is now calculated.
Um,
On click, blah, 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 update enrollment. And so this would be course ID, and this would be uh, course dot enrolled, right? And then let's see. Rolling, blah, blah. Yeah, enroll. Uh, right, we don't have this anymore.
Are these instructions that are going to be labeled in A6, or should we just intuitively know to get rid of all this
No,
code?
it's all in A6. So I would just follow whatever A6 says. And oh, you have a delete? Okay.
Mhm.
That maybe you can keep here. Oh, you have a delete cell courses. And you have what is it here? Oh, display courses length. So this would be just courses. Okay. So here, okay, this is probably because I'm an admin. I'm showing all of them, but I don't want to show all of them. So let's change Bob to be a student. So because I'm a student, I shouldn't be able to see all the courses. So that I might need to sign out and sign back in. Okay, so now I'm showing all the courses, right? And I can now either enroll or not. So that's a post. I'm enrolling those two all courses. There we go. So it's now only displaying the ones that I'm enrolled in, right? And the ones I'm enrolled in, I can unenroll, and the ones that I'm not enrolled in, I can enroll. Yep.
Okay, I actually couldn't understand that what parts should I remove in my code saying the A6 assignment because I mean, I don't know why I couldn't understand.
Yeah, because right, A6 kind of left it open ended. You do it any way would
Mm.
you want. And then I gave you my solution. It doesn't have to be you. I mean, it's okay if you don't use my solution. And then you tweak yours, and that's totally fine. But from my point of view, it's easiest to just implement it the way I have it. So there you have it. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot, Professor.
All right. Sure.
I have a question about
Hey guys, what's up?
hey, so when you implemented that enrollments with what you just did, if you were to restart the whole server locally, would
Mhm.
would if you clicked on the enroll button and enrolled in a course, would it persist even if you restarted the server?
Yeah, because it's all stored in the database, right? We fetch the enrollments from the database and copy it in our uh, local environment, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's all stored in the database. We fetch the courses and then we copy them into the reducer or state variables, right? So that even if I refresh the screen, right, it persists, right? All that is in the database. Before it didn't because we were using the arrays, right? And unless we updated the files, then there was no way to persist. But now it's all inserting and populating from the database.
Okay, and how is this gonna integrate with like we put our backend on that web server that's hosted online, but now we're using
Yep.
MongoDB. I didn't read into A6, but are we gonna somehow make MongoDB be like online somehow?
Yeah. There's
So it's
a
not local?
section 4 in the assignment 6. Section 4 runs through integrating with MongoDB in a hosted Atlas cloud service. So this is
Okay.
MongoDB running on a remote server.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Professor, I just got a question.
Hi, Cheng. What's up?
So on my A5, I think I have similar problem as the last student asked you. Like when I click the enrollment twice, it doesn't show up all the course. Like even when I enroll, even when I sign up for as a faculty.
Mhm. So I would suggest just copying my solution for the enrollments.
Okay. So I don't know. I think it worked before. I think I followed the lab menu on the A5, and at some point it just make all the other courses I didn't enroll disappear, and I couldn't.
Right now, but what I'm saying is that A5 doesn't walk you through how to implement enrollments, right? So however you implemented it, um, we would be debugging something that you might need to change anyway, to make it compatible with the database. So my suggestion is take a look at the A6 implementation of enrollments, and it's a proven solution. It works, and that so you would kill two birds with one stone, right? You would already get A6 up already going. You're creating the routes that you would need for A6 anyway. Obviously in A5 you would be working with arrays of enrollments as opposed to database. And when you get to A6, you'll already have the DAO, you'll have the routes, right? And the only thing you need to add is the schema and the model. So I would suggest
Okay,
taking a
thank
look
you.
at A6, just
Mhm.
bringing that over.
Another like a question on the A4. I think I email you. No, not email. I make a post on the Piazza. So I was graded last week, and I missed one thing, that the add assignment button, it doesn't you went to the director and it doesn't actually add this assignment on the interface for some reason. At that time, I got a big chunk of the grade off for that. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like wondering if I can make it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Do
take a
you
look at
want me to
that.
share my screen or something like that?
No, I'll look it up just a minute.
Okay. Yeah. And I already fixed on my later version after the grade. Yeah.
Where's my share screen? What the heck? Oh. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you see my screen? Oh, maybe not.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. What section are you in?
I think let me check. I think section 2.
Section 2.
Mhm.
Which assignment? 4?
4. Yeah.
You are Cheng Yang.
Yep.
So what is it we're looking at?
I think the Canvas assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think you might need to log in first, I guess.
Okay. Log in as who?
Yeah. And then I think go to why it looks like this. Go to one of the assignment, I guess. The first one maybe. Wait, I think it doesn't look like what I have on my end.
This says A2. That's supposed to be A4?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you submitted the wrong URL. Is it supposed to be A4? That one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do I sign in as?
Also the Iron Man. Yeah, start going to.
Okay. There we go.
And yeah, I think that looks right.
Okay,
And
so
just the add. I think I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Work. And also the assignment, add assignment. I already fixed that on my later version. Like a A4. I made another version of it, so I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, this part doesn't show up. I think that's my only problem for that submission. Maybe I submitted wrong link. I don't know now.
Okay. So what do you want me to take a look at that? How many points you lost? Is that what you want to look at?
Yeah.
And you are, what is it, Cheng Young?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. There you are. Is this you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. All right. So yeah, so you lost that creating assignments. Yeah, that was a good chunk.
But I was able to editing and deleting the assignment, but I wasn't able to creating. That was my problem. I didn't.
But how can I add an assignment how can I remove if I can't add?
I'm supposed to already have those assignment in.
Oh, here.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you can delete. Okay, so you can delete. Okay, let me give you that then.
And I can also edit.
Can you edit? Let's see.
Yeah.
How do I edit? Just click?
Yeah, click. And
how do I save?
Wait. Is that a student in you enrolling it? I don't know.
Stark. I'm Stark. Do I need to log in with someone else?
No, I think Stark is fine. Stark is factory.
So, but then I can't save? Okay, so then you cannot edit and you cannot create, right?
Give me a second. I think I can edit it because on my local end I am supposed to able to do it.
All right, why don't you look at that while I help someone else?
All right, thank you.
All right, and then we can come back to you. All right, who else? Estelita. Or Rooney.
Hello, sorry, I'm trying to move my.
What's up? You want to share your screen?
Sure. I don't code on this computer, so I've been trying to like get it like to make sure I have everything installed again, but I am struggling with A6. I'm there's a new issue happening now that wasn't happening before, but what was happening was that inside of